Hello, my name is Koke Kangaki, fourth year physiotherapy student, and today I'm going to be presenting on the topic figure of 8 orthosis and sling and swathe orthosis under the subject community-based rehab. So what are orthoses? Orthoses are mechanical devices which provide immobilization, stability, and may be used to correct deformities in a particular body part, such as in the upper limb, around the lumbar region, in the lower limb, or perhaps in the cervical region. So speaking of the figure of 8 orthosis, this is an upper limb orthosis. What is its use? It's used for clavicular fractures. The clavicle, also called the collarbone, is a bone that runs from the manubrium sternum right up to the shoulder joint. And when you have a clavicle fracture, you apply the figure of 8 orthosis. It runs in an X pattern across the thorax right up to the upper back. And the advantage of this orthosis is it provides stability and immobilization to the fractured clavicle to allow for proper healing and recovery of the individual or the patient. However, it does have the shortcoming of being difficult to wear and remove. In other words, donning and doffing of this orthosis can prove to be a little bit tricky. Okay, now let's move forward to the sling and swathe orthosis. This is another upper limb orthosis, and it's used specifically for shoulder dislocations and for fractures around the head of the humerus. So this orthosis has got two major components, as the name entails: the sling, which is a strap-like structure, and the swathe, which is the sleeve you see covering the forearm in the picture. So the function of the sling is it supports the fractured arm as it's resting on the trapezius or on the shoulder, as you can see. And the swathe, which is a sleeve-like structure with a transverse strap, holds the arm pressed against the torso or the thorax to keep the shoulder joint immobilized. So, of course, one of the advantages of this is going to be that it helps to immobilize the injured shoulder joint, whether it be in case of a fracture or dislocation around the shoulder joint. And it's a very inexpensive orthosis, so the patient doesn't have to spend a lot to buy or afford this orthosis. But one of the major shortcomings or disadvantages of the sling and swathe orthosis, it does allow for some degree of elbow mobility, which might prove to be troublesome if the patient doesn't pay caution during the healing process. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation video. I very much look forward to seeing you. Goodbye. Have a great day.